So today, we're talking about we're talking about if the music industry is rigged. Welcome to the Ariel Show. I'm Ariel. My voice sounds kind of funny this week because I have not been feeling so well, but I am on the upswing of things. I'm getting better, so that is something to be grateful for. Today we're talking about whether or not the music industry is rigged. If you are an artist, a musician, this concerns you directly, and if you are a fan, you've probably wondered if you've seen other bands rise to fame in a strangely short amount of time. You've probably been suspicious, like, what's going on there? Rigged obviously implies that there is somebody else pulling the strings, that not all growth is organic, that if somebody wanted to, they could catapult an artist to the top and make fans fall in love with them, make them have success, make them be chart toppers, make them win Grammys, make them sell a bunch of albums, all that stuff. I hope the music industry isn't rigged because that would imply that there are a ton of gatekeepers everywhere that control things, that are pulling the strings, and if they don't pick my band, then I'm not gonna, have a bunch of influence. I'm not gonna be able to affect a lot of people with my music, which is a total bummer. But from what I found, being in the industry for a long time, is that the music industry is not traditionally rigged. There is not a group of, 6 guys in the Illuminati up at the top making everything happen. But what is going on is a lot of financial incentive to have certain bands succeed and do well. And sometimes a certain artist will curry favor with a head of a record label, for example. And if this one guy in particular decides that you are the chosen artist, then it's always a he can catapult you to the top almost instantly. If he looks at your band and says, I believe in you, you've got potential, you're gonna make me a lot of money, he can tell everyone else in his label, and also people from other labels, the other music industry types like radio people, magazine people, touring people, like he can just make everyone in his arsenal help put that band to the top, basically. Now, if that band sucks, maybe they won't have a huge fan base and maybe they will fail and that guy will feel really stupid. But generally, if certain people at the top pick certain artists and say, you are the crowned, anointed, chosen artist, we will elevate you to the top, generally they do get there, and generally fans love their music because they're working with the best producers, the best photographers, the best songwriters. They're making hit music. They're not like necessarily trying to do something super artistic. It's more of like a formulaic thing. And so it's usually label heads, but maybe it's an A&R guy, somebody in power in the music industry. If they can find an artist that wants to do with the formulaic approach and they put the formula into place and there's that strategy and a lot of money being pumped into it, generally that artist will succeed. And really, so much in this industry can be purchased. We have heard through the grapevine that it costs about $500,000 to get your song to pop radio. You can also purchase the magazine cover of a very popular alternative magazine for $75,000, is what I heard. Who knows if this is true or not. You can also pay to have your band put on a really good tour, and this makes total sense. Let's say you're Coldplay and you're debating whether to put band A on your tour, which is like cool and has a good, indie sound, but they're just like whatever, or band B, which the label is like, we will pay you $300,000 to have this band go out on the road with you. That's going to be the logical choice because it's going to offset Coldplay's touring costs. So of course you're kind of going to want to go where the money is, and most people do. Besides money, is industry people often owe each other favors. So what they can do is, hey, I'll put your little opening band on my big band's tour over here, and then we're going to swap, and I want you to put them on this Tonight Show over here. And a lot of times it's just this kind of like leverage power play thing, everybody owing everybody favors. Hey, I did this for you back in the 90s, so you got to do this for me today. So if you are an indie artist, what are you supposed to do? Sometimes it can feel like you're getting, the short end of the stick here, that if you're not one of those formulaic commercial bands that you're not going to have a chance. But that is why now is the best time ever in all of history to be an artist, to be a musician. As most of you know, our band Icon for Hire left our record label in 2015, and then in 2016 we did a Kickstarter asking you as our fans to support the making of our third album, You Can't Kill Us. You guys made it the most funded music campaign of the year to date. And you freaking blew our minds. It was so amazing. Because of your support, it really showed us firsthand that we don't need all those special fancy music industry dudes to make our dreams happen. You guys are now our fancy music industry label dudes. You guys are the ones making that happen. So if you're an artist, I would completely encourage you to do this direct artist to fan thing. Create a compelling relationship with your listeners where they love you, where they have your back, where it's a two-way street. You're giving them all your love, your very best work, all your creativity. You are consistently, sending them love. You're going on tour, you're meeting them in person, you're doing social media stuff, you're connecting in any way that you can think of. Just connection, connection, connection. Once you've got that connection established and it's strong, that's when it becomes a two-way street. And that's when your fans are going to be less likely to maybe download your music illegally and more likely to actually buy your record for real. They're going to be more likely to actually come to your show instead of just watching your live stuff on YouTube. And this has been my band's experience firsthand. So I know this maybe won't work for everyone. We obviously did try the label route and that did obviously grow our fan base. So I don't want to speak for everyone here and be like, just do what we did and you'll be great. I don't know if that's how it'll work for everyone, but the most important thing here is to be empowered in your own musical career. Don't wait for someone else to discover you. Don't just sit around and hope that someone else loves you. You build that connection. You start building that bridge with your fans now. Start it now. Even if you don't have your band perfectly ready to go, you can still be on social media connecting with people. You can still be writing songs that you know are going to create that emotional bond between you and your listeners. The most important thing in all this is just don't behave like the music industry is rigged. Behave like the effort that you put forth matters. Don't be a victim. Don't believe that you're helpless because then it's all over. That's what I know about the music industry. If I ever find out something else, like some, black and white proof that it is indeed all rigged and there are a group of puppet masters up at the top running the show, I will be sure to let you know. On that note, if you are a fan of the band and want to continue that two-way connection between Icon for Hire and our listeners, we do have our third record, You Can't Kill Us, available for pre-order. And if you get it at iconforhire.net instead of, say, iTunes, then we get to keep 100% of that digital money instead of about 35 cents on the dollar going to iTunes. So that's another way that you can help make this connection keep happening so we can keep making music for you guys. Thanks so much for being in our lives. Thanks for watching. I know I've been telling you our tour dates as of late, so this time we are headed to Chicago on Thursday, Springfield, Illinois on Friday, and Minneapolis, Minnesota on Saturday is where we'll be. I love you. Thanks for being in our lives. Have a good week.
I'm not, you might be on the